Hey guys, welcome back to another one. This is Crypto Elite, home to the #1 Theta community. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you for following me on Theta TV. It does mean a lot. In this video, we are going to be talking primarily about Coinbase. Actually, there's a lot of litigation, a lot of things happening with Coinbase, and then we will follow that up with potentially doing some research. I might have found why Coinbase never listed Theta, and it could be a potentially good thing, bad thing, but we will unveil all of that in this video today. So let's first start talking about this article right here, and you might have followed it in the news. It's actually making quite a bit of news. The stock price is tumbling, everything more or less bad that could happen to Coinbase is happening to Coinbase. Not only is there crypto winter, the SEC is digging into them. A lot of hedge funds, they're starting to pull back because of all this news. So let's dig into why that is. So Coinbase faces SEC probe on crypto listing, the shares tumble. And if we scroll down, it is facing a U.S. probe into whether it improperly let Americans trade digital assets that should have been registered as securities. And that is a big thing for the SEC, or Security and Exchange Commission. They want to be in charge of all things securities. So they can't let some exchange out there start selling and exchanging and buying securities. They can't let the U.S. population do that without their oversight. And that is the main deal with Gary Gensler right now. And he wants to put a stomp on this before potentially the next bull run, before crypto gets even bigger than it is right now, because it is large. So the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's scrutiny of Coinbase has increased since the platform expanded the number of tokens in which it offers trading. And as we know, it's expanded quite a bit, and we've been waiting for Theta to just list on Coinbase. And we've got assurances over the last AMA that it's not if but when, so it should happen, but it still hasn't happened. And maybe that's a good thing. So the probe by SEC's enforcement unit predates the agency's investigation into an alleged insider trading. So that is another thing that's happening with Coinbase right now. And because of the insider trading, the SEC digging into it, large firms like Cathie Wood, ARK Invest is starting to sell part of their holdings of Coinbase, and they were a large supporter, a large holder of Coinbase. And it comes almost 3 months after ARK Invest bought more than 500,000 shares in May. So they're selling at a loss. So on Tuesday, Coinbase shares were down about 20%, a little over that. And a lot of that is because the ARK Innovation Exchange Traded Fund sold, like I said, over 1 million coin shares, or about 0.63 or 0.6833% of the fund's total investments. And that is pretty awesome, or not awesome, but it's pretty insane that all of this is happening to Coinbase right now. And if we dig a little bit further, we can see that I'll just read this right here. We are confident in our rigorous diligence process, a process the SEC has already reviewed. It keeps securities off our platforms, and we look forward to engaging with the SEC on the matter, is what Coinbase comes out to say. The SEC, of course, has declined to comment, but let's check out that process. And right here is the guide to listing assets on Coinbase. And I've gone over this a couple times in previous videos, but more or less they say, hey, we do our due diligence. Not any and every coin or token can be listed on Coinbase. And here's a couple of reasons why. Either it may take longer to get on Coinbase, or they're not going to accept your application. And all you have to do is do Control F, type in security, and it's the very first bullet. It's an investment or profit. So the developer or issuer team has made claims about the asset being an investment or a security, or that its users or holders will see a rise in price or return on investment in the asset. So I will cue in onto that highlighted portion. So if there's ever a claim about any asset, any crypto being an investment or a security, or that the holders will see a rise in price, it does not pass the Howey test. And that means that the coin, token, the cryptocurrency is indeed a security and that belongs to the SEC. So that is the first bullet and the main bullet that I will talk about. So doing some more digging, if we go to the sec.gov, and this is the SEC Edgar, and this is where all companies go to file with the SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission. Doing a little bit of digging, all you have to do is type in Theta, and there are a couple companies that come up. There's Star Theta LLC, and there's Theta Fund, and then the third one is Theta Labs, which is very, very interesting. And that is, yes, the Theta Labs that we know and love is the Theta Network. They did register with the SEC, Security and Exchange Commission. So they registered their company that potentially, if we follow, we'll hit that search button here in a second, and we'll see if they did file with the SEC to potentially release securities, or file that they are going to release securities. And once we do search, you can see the company information and the filings. So the filings that they have filed, they've filed a couple Form Ds, and the Form D is a notice of exempt offering of securities. So yes, they did file with the SEC. They did say they filed securities, but it's an exempt security. So let's check out what that means. I looked it up in the SEC. They have very, very poor definitions. Of course, anything government is very legal, a lot of legal jargon, but if we go to the balance, this is actually a really, really good definition of what is the SEC Form D. So the Securities and Exchange Commission has a primary mission to protect investors and give them information. And the security registration process is an important part of the mission. Some businesses can bypass the registration requirement if they file notice and meet certain requirements. The SEC Form D is used to file this notice of an exempt offering of securities, including a share of stocks, bonds, and other types of investment. So the SEC Form D is used by companies to notify the SEC that they have made an offering of a security, but they haven't registered these securities with the SEC. So an exemption from the offering securities without registering is covered in the SEC Form D. So after reading that, I put a lot of pieces together, and I think this is 100% one of the reasons why, if we go back to Coinbase's listing guide, in this very first bullet, if there's any claims whatsoever about it being a security, they are going to take longer to review their application. And that potentially might be one reason why Theta was never listed on Coinbase. Also, why potentially, if because there's a lot of coins and tokens on Coinbase right now, potentially some of these coins and tokens have also registered maybe Form Ds with the SEC as well. And if they are listed on Coinbase, then yes, maybe Gary Gensler and the SEC, they do have 100% right to look into and start probing into Coinbase to see if they are selling and exchanging securities without the proper approval of the SEC. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. I did find all of this very, very interesting, and I hope you did as well. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.